আর ভিডিও অন করো, ঠিক আছে। সুরজিৎ, সব ঠিক আছে তো? সুরজিৎ, সব ঠিক আছে তো? Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Microphone আছে তো? इधर सिमिलर हेलो हेलो गुड आफ्टरनून এই যে মাইক্রোফোন আছে তো हेलो गुड आफ्टरनून इधर सिमिलर हेलो हेलो गुड आफ्टरनून এই যে हेलो गुड आफ्टरनून हेलो ইউটিউবে ইউটিউবে তো কোনো অসুবিধা নাই। আর তুই তোর গুগল ইয়ে থেকে অ্যাকাউন্ট ঠিক আছে, তুই তো গুগলের থেকে ঢুকে রাখিস না, ইউটিউবে ঢুকতে আছে। মনীষদা, 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 সারিতে কথাই দে একটা সময় আমরা লেভেল একটা প্রবলেম করে instrument nutun dari dia. Sampai ke mana? Jadi video.
Sangat kilo stay. Sangat kilo stay.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Department of Physics, Tripura University, always have been in association with various activities in virtue of inculcating the scientific temperament in the young minds. Center for Promotion of Science is just an added feather to it. This year, Center for Promotion of Science was established to promote the rational thinking and scientific outlook among the masses in the society. Today, Center for Promotion of Science, Department of Physics, Tripura University is celebrating the National Science Day 2022. I welcome our chief guest, Professor G.P. Prosing, Honorable VC, Tripura University, and special guest, Professor B.K. Datta, Dean, Faculty of Sciences, Tripura University. Now, I would like to request our chief guest, Professor G.P. Prosing, special guest, Professor B.K. Datta, Coordinator of Center for Promotion of Science and Head of the Department, Professor Hussain, Professor Surya Chattopadhyay, and Professor D. Bhattacharjee to kindly take their respective seats in the dais. I would like to request our chief guest, Professor G.P. Prosing, special guest, Professor B.K. Datta, Coordinator of Center for Promotion of Science and Head of the Department, Professor Hussain, Professor Surya Chattopadhyay, and Professor D. Bhattacharjee to kindly take their respective seats in the dais. I would like to request our chief guest, Professor G.P. Prosing, special guest, Professor B.K. Datta, Coordinator of Center for Promotion of Science and Head of the Department, Professor Hussain, Professor Surya Chattopadhyay, and Professor D. Bhattacharjee kindly take their respective seats in the dais.
Thank you. Now, as a token of respect, I would like to request our students to present flower bouquet to our chief guest, Professor Ganga Prasad Prasin, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tripura University. Thank you. Now, as a token of respect, I would like to request our students to present flower bouquet to our chief guest, Professor Ganga Prasad Prasin. Thank you. Now, I would like to request our student to present flower bouquet to our special guest, Professor B.K. Datta, Dean, Faculty of Science. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving ahead towards the inauguration program, I would like to request Professor S.A. Hussain, Coordinator for Center for Promotion of Science and Head, Department of Physics, to kindly deliver his welcome address. Thank you. Moving ahead towards the inauguration program, I would like
Good
to
afternoon,
request
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor
Coordinator
Ganga
for
Prasad
Center for
Prasin,
Promotion of Science and Head,
Sir,
Department of
Professor
Physics,
Badal Kumar Datta, Dean, Faculty of Science, Tripura University, Professor Debojyoti Bhattacharjee, Senior Most Professor of this department, Professor Surya Chattopadhyay, Professor of this department, Distinguished Physicist Professor Biman Bagchi, National Science Chair and Professor of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, who will be delivering a special talk on this day at 3 o'clock. Dr. Anirban Guho and Dr. Ratan Das, Associate Professor and Assistant Professor of this department, my esteemed colleagues, research scholars, and my dear students. On behalf of the Center for Promotion of Science and Department of Physics, Tripura University, I welcome you all to this program. Today, we are celebrating National Science Day 2022. And we have organizing a series of activities like quiz competitions, debate competitions, wall magazine, lab visit, special talk, etc. Theme of this year's Science Day: integrated approach in science and technology for sustainable future. National Science Day is celebrated every year on February 28 to commemorate the discovery of Raman effect on 28 February 1928, and he was accordingly awarded Nobel Prize in 1930. The basic objective of National Science Day is to spread the message of importance of science and its application among people, on spreading a message about the significance of scientific applications in the daily life of common people. In this line, I am happy to share that Department of Physics, Tripura University has established a Center for Promotion of Science this year. Our main aim that the center will work with all stakeholders to develop and strengthen the science ecosystem in the society in order to advance scientific mentality and its translation into economic value and social wellness. As a whole, this center will work for the upliftment of academic as well as research environment in this university and contribute towards the development of the state and India as a whole. Specific objective of the center: initially, we have listed out some points on priority basis to inspire and promote science among the students of different schools and colleges of Tripura, promotion of science awareness to inculcate scientific outlook among the common people of the society. Center will create a digital repository with popular science articles, study materials for school, college, and university students. Center will arrange different awareness programs like on green initiatives, renewable energy, awareness against superstition, etc. time to time at various levels. Organization of different outreach programs involving departmental students, faculty members, and eminent scientists will be done time to time. Already we have launched the website of the center. People from all sectors of the society, including students, can access the website and can use the resources available in the website free of cost. We are sure that the knowledge bank in the form of digital repository will be extremely beneficial for the students of this region. In near future, based on this center, a research ecosystem will be developed which will contribute to the development of the state and as a whole for the country. I am also happy to announce that Physics Department has also launched its own website this year with updated information. Tripura University website have a dedicated section for Physics Department information, but from our department, we have launched a dedicated website for the department. And we believe that this will help to showcase our activities and achievements in a better way and will connect the department with various sections of the society. Considering the upcoming NEC visit, department has already started working to showcase the departmental academic and research outputs. During last 5 years, department has been recognized by FEAST DST and UGC SAP program and received a grant of the order of 2.84 crores. Also, our departmental faculty member received individual research grant 1.49 crores in last 5 years. We have published 184 research papers in last 5 years in peer-reviewed journals with average factor more than 3. We have produced 24 PhD during last 5 years. We have developed a library in the department having more than 500 titles, and this library is being established from the funds received through FEAST and SAP grants. We have organized 17 national and international events during last 5 years, including 3 faculty development programs and 2 refresher courses. Faculty members and scholars attended 198 national and 106 international conference seminars during last 5 years. Departmental faculty members have established more than 20 research collaborations with different academic institutions in India and abroad. We have signed 4 MOU and working on academia industry collaboration. Recently, we have applied for a patent, an Australian innovation patent. I believe that under the able leadership and guidance of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Physics Department and the Center for Promotion of Science will become as the center of excellence and will contribute to make Tripura University a top-class university, not only in India, but in the world. I am thankful to all of our colleagues, scholars, students, staffs of the department, especially the research scholars who has worked hard in making this program a successful one. I welcome you once again. Thank you. Thank you very much. I am thankful to all of our colleagues, scholars,
Sir, thank you very much for warming welcome address and sharing information on departmental activities. Next, I would like to request Senior Most Professor of Department of Physics, Professor Devajyoti Bhattacharya, to deliver his speech. Sir, thank you very much for warming welcome address and sharing information on departmental activities.
Honorable Vice Chancellor,
Next,
sir,
I would
on
like to
the
request
Professor
Senior
G.P. Protein,
Professor,
our
Department
Dean
Physics,
of Science,
Professor
Professor
Devaki
D.K. Datto, our Head of the Department and Coordinator of this program, Professor S. Hussain, also our another Professor, Professor S. Chattopadhyay, and other faculty members, Dr. Diego and Dr. Ratan Das, and all the other faculty members of other departments, and also the other staff, and my beloved research scholars, first semester and third semester students who are present here. And now all of you know this fact that this 28th February every year, so far as my memory is concerned, say around from 2007, from every year on 28th February, this day is celebrated as the National Science Day to commemorate the discovery of the Raman effect by C.V. Raman. All of you know this thing from the internet. All of you get an idea about this. On 28th February 1928, he got this Nobel Prize, and he discovered this experimental Raman. Experimental, but before that, say around, I think that around 1922. That some theoretical aspect of this Raman effect has been discovered by some Russian physicists and along with Raman. And then Raman, they experimentally observed this Raman effect. Okay, and he worked in this cultivation of science. And for this experimental discovery, he received this Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. And you know that this is the physics, this is the science and technology, every aspect of science and technology. Experimental observation is the ultimate thing. And maybe that there may be some theoretical observation, theoretical calculation, theoretical modeling, but experimental observation is the ultimate thing. And what it is that Raman showed this experimental observation of Raman effect, and for this reason he got this Nobel Prize. And you know all these things, you know, and also you saw I think that from this internet you already observed this Raman spectrograph, which was designed indigenously designed and made by this Raman with the help of an Indian carpenter from Kolkata. You know this thing. It's around 1.5 feet length and say around half feet its width, and some prism was used. Say 2 or 3 prisms are used for obtaining the spectrum of this Raman. That is okay. You all know this thing. And but what you do not know is that I also worked in the same Raman lab of the cultivation of science. And in that Raman lab, in our lab, that same Raman spectrograph was still on display. But the thing is that you see that I also did a lot of Raman spectroscopic Raman spectra using a Raman spectrograph, but not using that crude and indigenous, of course, that indigenous Raman spectrograph. We purchased in our laboratory along with the same indigenous Raman spectrograph. There was a big, highly sophisticated Raman spectroscope, and it was purchased from Germany. You see that C.V. Raman made this indigenous Raman spectrograph. Using this Raman spectrograph, he obtained that Raman effect. He obtained that Nobel Prize. And now we Indian scientists, we Indian technologists, we are not taking any initiative to design, to make any further improvement of this instrument. We prefer to purchase instrument from abroad. And not only, and this is not only true in case of highly sophisticated instruments like this Raman spectroscope, but also for other sophisticated instruments. We Indians prefer to purchase it from abroad. We don't like to develop it in India. There are a large number of IITs, NITs, our sophisticated research instruments, but all of our Indian scientists, technologies, we prefer to purchase sophisticated instruments from abroad, Germany, Japan, even from China. But the fact is that every year this Science Day is celebrated with an idea to develop some scientific idea for industrialization, for commercialization. But in very few cases, even from IIT, very few cases, you will find that where this industrialization, idea of industrialization, commercialization, will take place. Most of the scientists, most of the technologies, they prefer to publish paper. I also published paper 130 publish papers in topmost international journals. And you also see that the types of work we are doing here in this physics department and the same types of work they do in Japan, in Korea, and they are industrializing it, using the same types of things, same types of nano. But we are not doing it. And not only this is true in our case, but also throughout the whole India. And therefore, and also you see that this is the motto of this Science Congress for commercialization, to do our research work for industrialization, for commercialization. And this is the motto of this, one of the important motto of this science day. And also, only if we try our best, then only you see this Make in India project will become a success. And actually, our new education policy, NEP 2020, I think, it is also 2021, I think. It is also aiming at this in this direction for industrialization, for commercialization of our. And I think that you will also think about this and try to do something. Maybe that after MSc, maybe that after MTech. And also that another thing is that our technologies, they should also change their idea after BTech or MTech. They are now taking an MBA degree and they are now going to the management. But it should not be the motto of this. Most of the technologies, they should go to the R&D sector for development of this. Various types of equipment. Okay, thank you. And you also think about this. You are the future generation scientists. You are the future generation technologists. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Your mesmerizing words of wisdom always inspire us. Now, I request our special guest, Professor B.K. Datta, Dean Faculties of Sciences, to kindly deliver his lecture.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Your mesmerizing words of wisdom always inspire us.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I request our special guest,
Honorable Vice
Professor
Chancellor,
B.K. Datta, Dean
Professor
Faculties
D.P.
of Sciences,
Prasad,
to kindly deliver his lecture.
Professor Devajyoti Bhattacharya, HOD of Physics, Professor Syed Asad Hussain, Professor Surya Chattopadhyay, Dr. Anirban, Professor Devajyoti Bhattacharya, Dr. Ratan, other faculty members, research scholars, and students. Today, 28th February, that is National Science Day, and the Physics Department is celebrating this day. Every year, they celebrate and students. This day, to celebrate in throughout India, the universities, institutes, colleges, schools, to commemorate the discovery of Raman effects. And Professor C.V. Raman won the Nobel Prize in 1930 for the discovery, remarkable discovery of Raman effect. Discovery of Raman effect. National Science and Technology Commission actually proposed this Science Day to the Indian government, and later on every year in 28th February, this day is celebrated as Science Day. For the because there are India is mainly a largely populated country. There is 140 crore populations, and there are lakhs of villages. And there are among the villagers there are so many prejudices. A largely populated country, and they are not aware of the science and technologies of the present situation. Lakhs of villages. You see that in the pandemic era time in 2019-20, there are so many prejudices, and they are not aware of the science and technology. Some people think cow urine, and others people are just they are use cow dung in their body. These are the prejudices. Some people think, and this Science Day actually the objective is to awareness of science among the common people of Indian and the societies. These are the prejudices. And among the educated people also. Educated people are not, they also think some unscientific things. Suppose I infected typhoid and doctor give me some medicines, especially antibiotics, and I take 2 days. Actually, the dose is 5 days. Like 2 days, after 2 days, I recover. But this is not scientific. Actually, dose is 5 days. Because if you take the 5 days antibiotic, then all bacteria will kill. Actually, the dose is 5 days. Similarly, in tuberculosis, in India and in Russia also, tuberculosis is was pandemic. And in my lifetime, the coronavirus is just till now, coronavirus is called a pandemic disease. And at that time, TB is also the pandemic disease. That's why who use not direct observation treatment, because it's a long-term treatment, 10 months treatment. But the people use 1 or 2 months, and after that, when not to some extent cured, they leave to take the medicines. So we also not follow the scientific method in any kind, physics or chemistry or biology or medicine or others. So this day, this National Science Day, is the common objective is to awareness among the people. And our students, our scholars, and they come from different parts of the area. Some are from villages, some are from the cities or small towns. And they are the responsibility to create the awareness among the common people. So I congratulate or thanks to the Department of Physics to organize such a this manner to celebrate the National Science Day. So thanks to Professor Hussain, Professor Sujo Chattopadhyay, Professor Devaji Chattopadhyay and I request them to send your students with the villages to awareness, to aware the science. There is a progress in India in the last 21st century. India achieved tremendous in terms of atomic research, space research, basic research, and so on. So thank you everybody. The progress in India in the last thank you. India tremendous.
Thank you very much, sir. Your presence and your words both always delighted and inspired the gathering. Now, I would like to request our chief guest, Professor Ganga Prasad Prasin, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, to kindly share his precious words with us. Thank you very much, sir. Your presence and your words both always delighted and inspired the gathering.
Good afternoon and namaskar to each and every one of you.
Yes, Professor
Professor Badal Kumar Datta, Dean Faculty of Science, Tripura University. Professor Syed Ahmad Hussain, Head Department of Physics, Tripura University, each and every one of you. Professor Devajati Bhattacharya, Senior Professor in the Department of Physics, Tripura University. Professor Surya Chattopadhyay, former Head Department of Physics, Tripura University. Dr. Anirban Guha, Associate Professor. Dr. Ratan Das, Assistant Professor. Other faculty members, research scholars, students of Physics Department and other various departments who are assembled here. Invitees, scholars, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the 28th February is known as celebrated as National Science Day in memory of eminent physician, Nobel Prize winner who was Indian, Professor C.V. Raman, on his Raman effect in the year 1930. And he was the first Nobel Prize winner in the subject physics from Asia. And he was an Indian who has worked in Kolkata basically. So today is a very, very important day which we celebrate in the loving memory of Professor C.V. Raman, the Nobel laureate. I am not a student of science, but I know the importance of science. I know the use of scientific knowledge in our day-to-day life. Again, among various disciplines of science, I consider physics as the most important branch of science because of its application and importance in all other branches of science. Without the knowledge of physics, without the application of the formulae of physics, other disciplines may not achieve their success. So this subject, physics, is such an important subject among the science discipline also. And I am very happy to know that in the physics department of Tripura University, there is a center called Center for Promotion of Science, where, as I was told by the faculty member that, from time to time, you conduct various programs for making aware of the discipline science to other students. Yes, sir. As I was told, the subject science is applied every day. Now, as a layman of science subject, I like to appeal, I like to advise to my beloved faculty members of physics and also my dear students that, apart from teaching, research, reading, writing, attending this type of program, we collectively, with the teachers of science, with the students of science, have to do some social responsibilities also. We, as a citizen of this state, this country, have to discharge social responsibilities also. By social responsibilities for the student and teacher of science, mainly physics, I mean that from time to time, we should visit some of our villages. We need to go to meet our people in rural area, far-flung area, remote area, who could not study science. You are very, very lucky student, lucky teacher, because you could study science, that too physics, in a central university in Tripura in Agartala. You are very lucky, you are very, but there are many, many students, there are many, many parents, there are many, many guardians, many of your students could not, learn subject science, could not know the importance of the discipline science. Therefore, sometimes, whenever we are free from our hectic job, our hectic teaching, our hectic preparation, our hectic laboratory work, we need to visit some places in different districts of Tripura, and we have to make aware of our subject science, which is also told by your head Professor Hussain also. I am very happy to know that the Department of Physics, Tripura University, has undertaken many academic activities during the last 5 years period. Many projects were awarded to the teachers and scholars of physics department. Many research papers have been published in the highly impacted journals of different parts of the world. There is a very great achievement. And I also observed that, yes, this department is doing very, very, important work in promoting, teaching, research. in the state of Tripura and outside Tripura also. It is a well-recognized department and our faculty members have very wide exposure in terms of presenting papers, in terms of publication of the research output in different journals, not only India, even in abroad also. Now, we, the teacher of Tripura University, including the teacher of physics department, myself, have to discharge very, very important responsibilities. That is none other than implementation of new National Education Policy 2020. We all know that from this year onwards, that is from the year 2022 July onwards, we in the entire country, including the state of Tripura, are going to implement and going to teach our undergraduate courses to begin with under the new National Education Policy, which is being known as NEP 2020. We are going to revise our course curricula. And also, we all know that when we shall be fully implementing and in 2020, then the student of arts, the student of commerce, the student of pharmacy, the student of law, the student of agriculture shall be allowed to take one paper or two papers from science also. Therefore, when we will revise our curriculum, for which we have already started our exercise, that some papers of basic knowledge of physics, yes, they may be student of arts or commerce, they are not, they do not possess the advanced knowledge of physics. For example, for them, we need to put some course content which are of their interest, which are of basic nature. So that time has come, we have started thinking, we have started doing homework, and we have planned that within March, that is within 31st March, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to draft at least the content course curricula for first, second, or fourth semester. There, we have to put, we have to decide some topic of, interest from physics also. So that responsibility has come among all of us, that task we are going to do. And apart from this, curricula, we in the university are waiting for the visit of NEC, which is already due. Because of pandemic, it has been postponed. We are preparing. Now, when I was just entering in the physics department, I am very happy to see that the faculty members and the scholars and the students of this department have already started preparing for the visit of NEC. They have already, installed display board. They have already find out many Nobel laureates, physicians, Nobel Prize winners. So this is very important task, very important work we have been doing, you are doing. And I wish that you will continue doing what the department also. And you, from the physics department, has to play a very, very important role for promoting our entire university to the new heights, new academic heights. I'm very happy to know that today our faculty members have invited none other than Professor Biman Bagchi. I have heard his name. He's a great scientist in Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, and he will deliver his lectures. You will be enjoying his lecture. He is a very, very eminent scholar in the discipline. And I am very happy to know that research scholars are also taking part for all these endeavors. I am happy to see your progress. I will not take much time. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the faculty members and students of physics department for organizing this program in Tripura University. And also, I thank you for undertaking various academic activities, research activities in physics department of Tripura University. And finally, I thank you for inviting me as a chief guest, though I am not a man of science, and also you have given me so much respect and honor to me. I will carry forward, I will cherish the memory of my association in physics department, even after I go away from Tripura also. Thank you, Jai Hind. So I am not a man of science, and also you have given me so much respect and honor to me.
Thank you so much, sir. It is always being a pleasure to hear from you. Your words enlightened us with our capabilities and objectives. Now, I would like to request Professor S. Chattopadhyay to give vote of thanks. Thank you so much, sir. It is always being a pleasure to hear from you. Your words enlightened us with our capabilities and objectives.
The Chair, our Honorable Vice Chancellor,
I
Sir,
would like to request
Professor Ganga Prasad Prasad,
to give
Chief Guest of this program at the National Science Day celebration. The National Science Day celebration. I also
Hello. Hey, Shongita. What did Shongita's here?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Were you in the morning talk?
Sir, I had an examination duty at that time.
Yeah. Very problematic.
Yes, sir, managing online and offline both simultaneously.
No, not only that, they are running late.
Okay.
That helped because for Mr. I had to ask for Mr. to make a slide.
Okay.
Last minute, I don't think everything they expressed would happen. Yeah, it's very strange. Offline, there are first row is empty. Second and third row, I see about 10 people. And Songita's here.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
It's kind of interesting. Were you in the morning? See what happens. I gave a talk in Lord Ramakrishna Mission, and there were some some only 40, 50, but that's a huge
Sir,
college.
managing online and offline both
Online only about 50. They told me no. All the students were streaming YouTube because they do not want to use their precious 2 GB per day. Okay, so it's very interesting that the way when you have undergraduates or graduate students, the students they have a very different because they don't have free internet many of the times. Yeah, it's very strange. Offline, there are first row is empty. Second and third row, I see about 10 people. And Songita's here.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
It's kind of interesting. See what happens. I gave a talk in Lord Ramakrishna Mission, and there were some only 40, 50, but that's a huge college. Online only about 50. They told me no. All the students were streaming YouTube because they do not want to use their precious 2 GB per day. Okay, so it's very interesting that the way when you have undergraduates or graduate students, the students they have a very different because they don't have free internet many of the times. Yeah, it's very strange. Offline, there are first row is empty. Second and third row, I see about 10 people.
Good afternoon, sir. Bakshi sir. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Bakshi sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I am audible, of course.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, shall we start, sir?
You guys got problem, not me. I am always audible.
So, shall we start, sir?
What's the time? 3:15, no?
Yes, sir. It's almost 3:15.
You have only 12, you have only 12 people.
No, sir. It is there in the YouTube and also physically it's almost 100, sir, in the hall.
I don't see them.
No, in the hall, sir. You can see it's almost filled up.
Oh,
They are
this is a
students.
big hall.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. I thought you were waiting a little bit more because 3:15 you said, no?
Yes. Okay, sir. So, am I audible?
So, people are, here is our the coordinator. Now, what's your name?
Yes, you're audible.
So, myself, Professor S.A. Hussain.
I know that. I know you. I know, but the other person who is here on the right hand side in the Center for Promotion.
Oh, he is my scholar, Ritanova, sir.
Oh, okay. He's your scholar and he's doing all the work.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Shall we start, sir?
He looks quite nervous because I think he's taking care of things, right?
So shall we start, sir? Oh, no, but they are giving a lot of effort, sir, for organizing such events.
Yeah, I know.
Because today we are having other events also. We have quiz, then speech competition, also Wall magazine, and BC was there. So they arrange this kind of thing. And also after your lecture, they have some activities.
Sangeeta, remember in Kurukshetra University, your VC also came late?
Yes, sir.
And he came very late, no? It was half an hour late.
Yes.
So, he was late, but I exactly don't know by how much time he was late.
They are always late. VCs are supposed to be late. Now, what's your name?
Yes, you're audible.
I think that's part of their job. I know that. I know, but the other.
No, this is, sir, in our places or most of the Indian places, meetings and this kind of things, in general, late is a common practice. In general.
Yeah, late is actually fashionable. And late is actually glamorous. You know, if you are not late, then you are not important.
No, but they are
now I think we can almost, okay, one more minute, we can almost start.
Yeah, because today we are having other events also.
Okay. Not bad. You have got such a big thing going now in person.
And BC was there.
That's quite nice. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, I welcome all the audience and also those who joined online and in YouTube also. Once again to this special lecture by Professor Biman Bakshi.
He was late, but
Professor Biman Bakshi is the National Chair, Science Chair and Honorary Professor of Indian Institute of Science. And what I understand, sir, do not need any introductions. Still, he is a theoretical physical chemist and biophysicist and having more than 700 publications and Journal of Physics.
Okay, go ahead, whatever you want to tell, yeah.
In general, Journal of Physical Chemistry B published one special volume issue on sir in 2015, and he has got lot of awards. It's difficult to name all. INSA Young Scientist Award and the highest award by India, this Bhatnagar Award, long before in 1991. He is fellow of Indian Academies, other so many fellowships, Humi Baba Fellowship, Alexander von Humboldt Award, then very prestigious recently Joel Henry Hilbert Award. So many awards sir has got, and I request specifically students, please go through, please Google sir's name and go through his websites
No,
and.
no, 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 they will start doing that now. No, no, okay.
Sir, after the lecture, this is important because our main motto is to inspire the students. And we are grateful to you, sir, that you are here and your words will inspire them. And if they got inspired, then we think that our effort and program is successful. So with this, I request sir to start. Sir, please. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. I gave a talk in the morning where my video didn't work. So this time I have, I'll keep it on at least for some time. Okay. So, well, I'm a bit, even though I've given many online talks, I'm still a little bit nervous about the whole arrangement because I do it mostly from home. In the office, I have the advantage of my students, but at home, it's a little dicey. Now, okay. So, yes, I think it's a wonderful thing that you guys are doing, and it's very, very nice. In ICTCR, I think we don't have much. We have a huge amount of activity other years, but this year I think we don't have much. So I'll now share the my screen.
Our main motto is to
And,
inspire the students. And we are grateful to you, sir, that you are here.
I hope it
and
will
your,
work.
Words will inspire them. And if they got inspired, then we think that our effort and program
Now,
is
can you see my screen?
I request sir to start. Sir, please. Thank
Hello?
you very much, sir. No, sir, not yet.
Okay, just a second. Then I go back again.
Okay. So, well, I'm a bit, even though I've given many online talks, I'm still a little bit nervous about
That means
because I do it mostly from
what
home.
happened?
In the office, I have the advantage of my students, but at home,
Google Meet is different from Zoom. Zoom I know very well, you know.
so,
Google Meet
yes,
I'm not
it's
that
wonderful
familiar.
that, you guys are doing, and it's very, very nice.
Okay.
In ICTCR, I think we don't have much. We have a huge amount of activity other years, but this year I
So,
think we
sir,
have-
near, it's
Just
coming,
just
sir.
Here, the
Yeah.
just see.
my screen,
Now,
and
now let's see.
I hope it will work.
Now,
Yeah, sir, it's okay. You can make full screen, sir.
okay. Yeah, I think Google Meet is quite dicey because since it is slowly going out of fashion, because Zoom is doing so much better. Team is also, so Google Meet though free, I think it's a bit of a problem. The interface is kind of did not develop, you know. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. So let us start. And I have given a talk, I think about a year or two ago on Voice Through Space and Time, which is kind of a what I call omnibus talk from us, which is that means this a basic title remains the same and the inside problems rotated. Hello, somebody has to turn off the microphone now.
Yeah, sir, it's okay.
Okay.
You can make.
Okay. Yeah, please tell me, Shomida, please tell me when things are not working. Huh?
Okay, sir, sure, sir.
Okay. Now, so, but this is a kind of a talk I also keep sometimes, and this talk started in a very interesting way. This talk started because I was asked by Sri Ravi Shankara of Art of Living
Anyway, thank you very
Bangalore.
much. So let us start.
They had a World Congress, though it didn't turn out. The world was not that big anyway. But that talk, I prepared a talk for that, which they really liked. It was very, very interesting because I have a lot of respect for CC. So after my talk, actually towards middle of the talk, there I saw some excitement in the audience, and then few of them left. Then they came back, and after my talk was over, they told that CC wants to see me. Now it's very difficult to get a version of CC Ravi Shankar. I'm not a disciple, but I know he has done a lot of good work. So I said I cannot stay because my talk was 11 to 12. I said I cannot stay. Then till 4 o'clock when he said, then he said, after more hectic activity, it will be 2:30.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
I said no. Now, then more hectic activity, then said, we will see you now. So I was taken to the darshan, and several other people also, speakers, they were just thrilled because they said, we have tried so many times, I couldn't see, but so I say, man, that's wonderful. This man asked some of the things I talked about. One thing he particularly liked is the interpretation that I have given for the nano aggregation as some kind of a logic for the turmeric, the medicinal activity of turmeric. So that I'll talk a little bit on. I'll talk a little bit of insulin and vitamin D. And then towards the end, I'll talk a little bit of physics, the chemistry, whatever I do. This is something I think is extremely important for us to understand. And I know most of you guys are physicists. Don't be afraid. I will be talking of physics, but I'll be talking of physics and biology or physical biology, which is a very big area. Now, as you have seen, the kind of thing that went on in your vaccine and everything is essentially physics and chemistry. And it is good to get a view of these things. Not only that, most of the jobs are there, but also many of the Nobel Prizes are going now to this area, both physics and chemistry and medicine. Some of the things I talked about. Okay, so today is the interpretation that I have given for National Science Day, and which is the honor of C.V. as some kind of Raman's great discovery. I also want to pay my homage to two persons. One is Jyotish Chandra Bose, which I think is, though he has the many things he did, is slightly underrated in Indian psyche. And at one point, I was complaining about that, and I was told by a very distinguished physicist, one of the best physicists of India today, I'm not going to name him. He told me that, you guys should write a good book on that, and that someday, I don't know whether I have energy to do that, but I write a lot. I have my blogs, but I encourage students to read. And so one needs, just like written on Sir C.V. Raman, on the Journey into the Light, a great book by G. Venkataraman. A similar book is needed for Sir J.C. Bose. Okay. So, of course, Bose, Chandra Bose, I don't need to say anything about the Bose statistics, though I don't like this kind of comment, everybody knows him and he doesn't need an introduction. That's not really fair. We have discussed this among the top level, like Peter Walliness or Fleming in a meeting once, and we all say, no, that's not fair. One need to give a small introduction. Now, Satyendranath Bose, the Bose statistics, Bose-Einstein condensation, many other things. Jyotish Chandra Bose towards the end actually did botany, quite a bit of botany. And he's credited with the person who discovered that plant has life, which kind of obvious, but he proved it scientifically by many different ways. And if you go to in the College of France, then there is a huge sculpture of Claude Benoit, and written below, Father of Botany. I never liked that. I think we need to bring Jyotish Chandra Bose. I think before that, around that time, in a more scientifically physics way, he did that. And I think it must not have escaped your notice that all three people are physicists. That's not really fair. And we have discussed this. So what happened to chemists? Well, in chemistry, we do have one great guy. His name is Gyan Chandra Ghosh, who has several very good work done, like cosmical theory, which are somehow not taught, because they should be taught before debivocal theory. I wish I could talk on in electrolyte dynamics, then I could have pointed out, but I am not going to talk on that today. That's actually a substantial amount of our work is in transport properties in electrolytes, which is debivocal theory, debivocal Onsager, Falkenhagen, and force and all these things. And and as I said that I write blogs, and Indian National Science Academy, essentially my students, along with Indian National Science Academy, brought out the book, which if you want, I can send email, or I'll send the email to Professor Hussain. He can forward it to you. This is free. Right now, they have also printed, but they have sent all these to all the universities. They, I think, printed only 500. But the e-book is a very nice book. And this is a collection of articles, and it is really guidebook for young researchers. I have 2 books like that, but this one is the one which is very direct. And I strongly encourage you, not because it's written by me, but it's this kind of books usually exist in the business world, where you get how to be successful, go kiss the world, all the kinds of books you see everywhere. You don't have that in academics. And academia is not a very small, not a negligible. It is now. It's not probably as big as IT, but it's not negligible. And there are a lot at stake. Actually, our young people are the ones who are going to do IT and all the other things later, along with Indian National Science Academy, and also in my blogs. And so now I think we go to after these things, go and talk in a very leisurely, but I want to bring out the science everywhere, whether physics comes to biology, I don't care. Right? So as I said, motivation of the talk are these few things. And also we'll talk a little bit of gingerol. And this one we started. And you'll see there amazing beauty in many of these studies. Okay. So we'll talk on metformin, which is the main medicine for type 2 diabetes. We have curcumin, healthy, anti-inflammation. Why? We'll ask that question. Turned out both metformin and curcumin, ours are the first ever actually. We have started in gingerol. In this I wanted to do about 5 to 10 years ago. So, but we are not the first one. 1 or 2 papers have already arrived. Now we'll talk a little bit of insulin, other for diabetes. We do not really particularly plan to do diabetes, but it turned out quite a bit of that. Monomer is the active form, but body it is stored at hexamer and dimer. Vitamin D and T cell immunity, which is a lot of discussion in newspapers because of the new pandemic. And then we have kinetics of phase change, and I'll also have a little bit of other things towards physics. So first part will be physical biology, and last part will be essentially just physics. Okay. So these days I have changed the model. I want to give my students name early, and because you will see their names coming in. So Shomok Shantan did many things over the years. Rohit Puja, Shomita is going to be Shwajit, they are more new. Sushmita did the vitamin D work, Milan curcumin, and Ravinda is my colleague. We did a lot of work. Okay. So now one of the reasons I want to motivate it the following way. That there was, Merck, the company which is coming up with all the drugs of COVID, that there was a big article saying that the new revolution, next industrial revolution will be in drugs and value, which is partly right. It turned out to be. Now they are getting to bigger industry than IT. It takes some time. But they said that it's a designed by computer. This is very interesting. So this is called computer-aided design, CAD. Now, but CAD, what is CAD and how is CAD works? What drives CAD? What are the principles? Turned out the principles are all nothing but thermodynamics and quantum mechanics and just very basic things. These I had my first experience when I was once long time, 30 years ago. I was visiting NIH, National Institute for Health, and there are some people. I was in great demand. Okay. Many people wanted to talk with me. One of the reason, and the reason was that they wanted to talk with me because they wanted to talk with me the free energy calculations, the statistical mechanics of that. The reason is that you will come apparent in a minute. So these are the conceptual tools which are done by physicists and physical chemists over the years, including computer simulations, molecular dynamics, and Monte Carlo. Now, so the computational drug design and common approach to development of drugs is the first thing is one must mention the thermodynamic perturbation theory. Is my boss once, he's a legend and a huge person. The reason they wanted to talk with him, but he's very whimsical and he does not tolerate people. So they could not talk with him. So they talk with me. So this is actually what they do. This perturbation theory is used when you have a small mutation in DNA and protein and you want to know the free energy of binding, like DNA protein binding or protein ligand binding, receptor ligand binding. That is done even in our ISC. Raghavendra Vargarajan does that. Many people do that all over the world. But the theory is theory of Bob's. Okay. Then structure property correlation, which is X-ray analysis, pure physics for your case. Enzyme kinetics, got Nobel Prize Marshall level. So these are the drug DNA intercalation. That's again computer simulation and physics and chemistry. It's really interesting that much of the drug design that we do are essentially physics. And this, I think, people should understand. People should not shy away from biology. Because, at a certain level, you can find your niche, you can find your house there, but, and there is a lot of demand for this kind of treatment that people who know these things. Like recently, this biotech or biotech in BioNTech, the company who did the RNA, Pfizer, they hired two guys one from StatMed group, one from Quantum group. And they are going to work on this mRNA, some properties. I don't know about that. So those are very secret, but these are the pure theory. But the theory is theory of Bob's. Fired by study and working condition, except we can fire it. Okay. So now I'll slowly go through and tell you, and I'm saying that I know you guys are physicists, so it will be chemistry won't be low, biology also will be peripheral. So this is a paper which actually very getting well cited, a nice paper which we said that we did from nowhere. Why I did, I don't really know. But one of the reasons that I probably got into it, I don't remember the origin, but I was looking for metformin because one of my colleagues was taking this drug, had long-term ache, and then I came to know somewhere that they have a anti-cancer property. So I became curious. But then when I looked into the molecule, it's a beautiful. Even a physicist can appreciate it. It is showing on the right bottom panel that it has a large number. Usually most of the organic things has carbon. That much you guys should know. Huh? But this has 5 nitrogens. And where nothing is putting at carbon. So CH3, NCH3, C double bond, NH, so symmetric and so nice, and these double bonds. And on top of that, this is a molecule which plays such an important role. You must be knowing some people, your parents or uncle or somebody is taking this drug. This I tell you that among my colleagues in my department, out of 8 or 9 faculty, senior faculty I'm talking, 50% are on this drug. It's a hugely important thing. So then once I look at these molecules, I had these students, Anton Mondol and Shumok, just GMO boys. So I discussed with them and they immediately could do the quantum of that. Because we said, okay, if we want to do this, first let us get the quantum mechanics of this done, spectroscopy of this done. And then there's a lot of things that we did the connection in case risk of certain type of cancer, type 2 diabetes, all these many things. So we did that and we found, or rather they found that there are all these different forms, charged forms, then two planar forms, MET1 and MET2, and one is MET3, which is non-polar tautomeric form, that turns out to be more stable. So we did our study with that form, and if you remember delta E 296.3.
My department
And then I got help from my colleague, Anindra Jivan Bhattacharya, a professor, and in our department, a very well-known scientist himself. And so we did the quantum calculation and they did the measurement. And the wavelength is the MED3 is the one that matches with the popular of the drug that is used at the 290s, the 235 nanometer. That's the tautomeric form. And then there are IR spectroscopy we did. So these are just essentially we are doing physics, physical chemistry or something like that, and we are doing calculations, we are doing experiment, and we are comparing and then figuring out what is. So we figured out, we also measured the diffusion coefficient, calculated from Dorsey experiments, classical molecular dynamics simulation, and we found that they kind of agree. So we kind of zeroed on, and Dorsey was done in MBU department. And then we want to import, then we formed a force field. Force field means what are the kind of charges, what are the kind of interactions among themselves and among what. And then we have to validate it. Other than diffusion, other validation is doing the melting. So we did melting in real world on a computer, and top two panel at the real experimental one, and below are the simulation, and they did extremely well. Even the RDF also did extremely well for. So we kind of knew that what we were doing not wrong. So we went ahead and then started studying this metformin. We studied solvation. That means how much stable it is water and what is the diffusion, as I said already. Then we wanted to know, because of its many properties, how does it interact with DNA? So we figured out and where does it go and bind to DNA? And so these are kind of it prefers the AT-rich minor groups, which are deep because it goes and really binds there very well and with a large binding energy. And these are showing some of these minor group binding into the DNA of the drug metformin. And then, of course, it switches the group. That's common for all of them. They go from minor group to major group, but stays in minor group much of the time. So it's very, very, on the left-hand panel, it's showing the major group binding site. On the right, the group binding site. There are good computer packages that allow you to do this. And then, interaction of DNA, we do this is what, again, my experimental colleague did, UV visible spectra. And then, the interesting thing is that when it interacts with DNA, the absorbing, if I go more and more DNA I add, then the changes, increase in absorption of metformin in the PA. That means it is, physics is very nice. If metformin is in water, its fluorescence gets quenched. This is a very important thing because water just opens a different channel or shifts the fluorescence spectrum or quenches it. But when it goes into the groove, water does not play that. So we always in experiment, we do know that a fluorophore has gone to a hydrophobic or constrained atmosphere environment away from water. And so the huge rise we see in the absorption spectroscopy means that the metformin has gone into so you see here what we are doing. We are doing a quantum mechanics, quantum chemistry calculations, finding out what is stable, what is unstable. Then we are doing a simulation, building a force field, and we are getting its properties. Then we are putting it with DNA. Again, we are going back and doing a spectroscopy experiment. So it's very important that how, see, I must stop and pause and say a few things here. For physics students in particular, and also if there is any chemistry. See, don't just go after past glamour. I once got many people got angry with me that when I was this high string, super string people, they are saying theory of everything. I said, look, there is no theory of everything. There's a new, every length and time scale, there is a new theory. That was actually told by Feynman himself.
So we always in
Every length scale and time scale has a new theory, but once atoms and molecules are done, many things, condensed matter physics and physical chemistry are done from that.
away from water.
But you should not think, like in physical chemistry, you have this problem, people do a lot of quantum chemistry. Sometimes it is easy. That's why people are the only thing they can do it. But that does not mean they're more phenomena-oriented
We are doing a,
physics or phenomena-oriented chemistry. It's a little different and that's harder. You have to, it is very easy to follow a fashion and go and attach to something and do something. But at the end of the day, you might find that, yes, you are mixing with very smart people and you are doing a very smart, talking very smart things. Like when I was in Presidency College, there was a person called Dipankar who was used to go in the beard and tall guy with a Punjabi and pajama, very scholarly, always spoke in Charminar. And he was held in great respect because he was the one who are told who understands general relativity. Okay, I don't know what happened to him, but this understanding general relativity certainly is a very, very thing because I tried, I got messed up in all the tensors. But I do want to tell you one thing, that always find out new venture. I have told that in my book. Always find out new. Don't just follow super strings or this thing or that thing. That doesn't help. It's really, because you are going to ruin your life. You are going to ruin your career. Those of you who want to do research. Okay. So now again, some more. Come back to this, what you might appear to mundane, but really a lot of interest in there. Then we found that binding in the DNA induce certain chirality. That means the metformins are oriented in certain fashion. And this is something we have not induced chirality is a big field. We have not yet published this, and we should go back to that. So this is my talk of metformin. So remember the following things. Metformin has this beautiful molecule, such an important drug and such a simple molecule. And that has very interesting properties. Both at the level of molecule, that is a non-planar form is important. It has beautiful spectroscopy. It has good melting, and we can define the order parameters of binding by the angle. And then it has fascinating properties when it binds to DNA. Okay. Now that is done. Now I want to talk a little bit of the curcumin, this solid gold. Now the name solid gold comes from a biblical origin. So, there's a very famous story, Gift of the Magi. Of course, I'm not talking Gohenry's story, but I'm saying the biblical story. That wise men from the east went with the gift. And it is considered that they gave 3 gifts. 2 of them are some very powerful herbs, herbal medicines. 3rd one, everybody thought gold. But now, many people are questioning, no, what they meant, what the wise men from the east, what the 3rd one was also a spice, and that is turmeric, because the newly born Jesus and his mother needed the anti-inflammation things. So gift of the Magi, the modern biblical story of interpretation everywhere, is essentially turmeric. So why turmeric is so useful? So again, this is a beautiful molecule, as you can see. Now the name solid gold, that there are 2 phenyl rings and they are symmetric, OCH3 and OH. And then they have these beautiful conjugated things. And I always find it exceedingly interesting that most of the bioactive molecules have this conjugation, double bond, double bond, double bond, and C double bond O, and then hydroxy group. And it is a beautiful thing, this kind of thing to understand. And again, one can do quantum mechanics on them or quantum chemistry on them and then do the rest of the book. What really, Amy, why is the anti-inflammation? Where is the anti-inflammation stress there? Why it is so powerful that I remember whenever I used to get hit on my hand, and I used to get very often because I used to fall from the tree, and then also I used to climb trees and then tries these cocoon or all this. They were put those kind of poisonous things on my arm, and somebody in the locality, some used to call Didi. Everybody used to remove them with a blade and then put inevitably, because it's too solent, inevitably they used to put mixture of chuna and turmeric or something just. And I always find it, and that was the heavenly medicine. That most of the many of you have probably have experienced that, you know, the standard Indian quote unquote Ayurvedic medicine. Why is that? Why is that? Okay, so we now wanted to try that this molecule. So one thing that we found, and this is unfortunate reference is not here, but this is came out in chemical physics letters a few years ago, and I think 6 years ago. You can always find it by doing a Google curcumin and Bakchi. It's done by Milan Hajda and Shushmita Roy. What we found that when you put them, then they form aggregates. These things, they form the phenyl rings, they parallel either parallel or anti-parallel, and they form aggregates. And remove them with pretty long aggregates. And we went, these are big molecules, we went to 16 of them. And then you are showing on the right panel the alignment. So you can see one near 0 parallel, one near 180 anti-parallel. And you can see radial distribution function, that they are mostly the phenyl ring to phenyl ring. We also looked into water, but I'll come that to the main. So it is a very interesting thing that they all form nano aggregates. And in the middle, water is completely excluded. It's very important. In the middle, water is completely excluded. So now we know inflammation. If we have, for example, if you have a gut which has become kind of a on the verge of becoming poisonous or something, we always put haldi. Aggregates. Now, one of the major thing of haldi or curcumin is that it draws out water. You know, you all of us have experienced that when you put the curcumin, that area becomes dry. The reason it becomes dry, the curcumin forms from aggregate, and it drives the water out. And that is one of the reasons anti-inflammation, one of the easy way to kill an inflammation outside is to remove the water. And then water and self-assembly, we need there. Again, the two kinds of arrangement of water molecules. Water rotation is slow, tremendously slow in the first shell. There are very interesting thing that we found out that how they aggregate. The aggregation is we found very similar to nucleation. That means it grows up to certain size. And before that, it just breaks and breaks out. But then once it forms the nucleation, like on the left panel is showed by the elliptic circle, then it just takes over. So when it forms a size, just like in nucleation, either it goes down and goes to monomer dimer, or it goes over to form the largest cluster. This is the trademark of nucleation, which is a very phase transition. We'll talk a little bit of that later. So this is very much a concept of physics, decomposition, nucleation, pattern formation, phase separation, kinetics, that we are using here to understand this process. And as so there an interesting thing is that the deep minima, you can see the deep blue on the right side, the largest cluster size here, these arrangements. And then on the way, one more is there. Yeah, on the way, you have deeper minima, you find when the two double minimum structure. The other minimum, the fact, and which is not fully captured, is the minimum of this cluster. Another one, what we call sol kind of a thing, that means gas phase and the liquid phase. And this one, okay, so these are, I would have liked a few more slides here, but I don't have, but I basically want to stop this thing now that this quantity, this turmeric has these beautiful structures. Now, you know, it is very difficult for delivery. Many studies have anti-cancer of turmeric, but it's very difficult to get turmeric because turmeric does not, it just from aggregate and it goes out of your body. So the basic idea then that you have to mix with something, a lot of study going on now, a lot of talking going on now of this wonderful molecule, that how to keep it in the body. Basic idea to get them into tissue so that they can go to anti-cancer or inflammation site. And then there are some suggestion that you mix it with you have black pepper, which that I have not studied. I would like to study what kind of complex they form. So basically, you see my goal here is basically trying to bring these things into realm of physics and chemistry. Another one, what you call solve kind of thing. Then one thing we started, there is not much. Again, you see my double bond was COH, but there are not enough conjugation here. But you see OH, hydroxy and methoxy group, same we have in curcumin. Because curcumin is the molecule of turmeric. Same thing, same C double bond OH. The conjugated things are not there. I don't know whether it's mistake in drawing or not, but we have till now got the force field done, and we are studying in water. And we just show you a snap. It is in water. Then we put many waters to see what is gingerol and try to find out what is the medicine. Throw some light on the ginger. It's, our Prime Minister fasting said in COVID after that you should have garlic and ginger. Very interesting and very good suggestion, actually, because of their huge immunity boosting properties. But I would like to know in a sense of science, not hearsay, not just 1,000-year-old advice, but in terms of physics and chemistry, in terms of hydroxy group or methoxy group and their aggregation, these things. So one thing we did some time ago, which is a little bit more detail, is did one very famous molecule which is used is daunomycin. So this is second generation of chemotherapeutic drugs. First generation of ethylene, second generation daunomycin, actinomycin, third generation is cisplatin. Okay. So, how does it work? Very interesting. This daunomycin is the molecule with a lot of phenyl rings. Why so many phenyl rings? First thing you will ask, why so many phenyl rings? Then you ask, why? How these things, these big molecules, and many times, people say bad things about these chemotherapy drugs, and I'll explain why they are bad. This hugely cited paper that in the below you see, and one more. So, sense of science, not hearsay. One thing that we know very early, that so many phenyl rings planar things are because they has to go inside to base pair. Now DNA has these bases, nucleosides, adenine, thymine, cysteine, and G, glycine. Not glycine. I forget myself. Okay, now. So they go there, but what does they do when they get stuck in here? It is shown on the right top panel that how the phenyl rings going. Okay, two things. All chemotherapeutic drugs have. They have a positive group attached to them. Their positive group goes and anchors in the negatively charged phosphate backbone. You remember DNA negatively charged phosphate backbone, and then counter ions, sodium. They repel each other, and that is partly responsible for the rigidity of DNA. Now, this guy goes in between two base pairs. You can see these base pairs here, the flat green and brown. This goes in here and anchors itself. Then what does it do? Once it anchors itself, DNA cannot function. And DNA is the one which expresses proteins, which forms proteins through mRNA and tRNA. So once you essentially kill the DNA, and the idea is that in a more active, DNA is, now more it is opening and closing. So because it has to function now, because it has to
what does
create
it do when they get stuck in
the
it?
protein,
That it is shown
because
the
it's
light
very
of
active.
analysis.
That's how you always know this is the active site.
All-
Cancerous site is very active. So you hope those DNAs are going to be hit by midomycin and it will then stop the replicator. It cannot transfer anymore. It cannot get direct mRNA. It cannot direct tRNA. So whole protein synthesis stops. But how does it bind? Okay, here is this. So we found something that discovery that it first goes and binds to a final intercalated site. Before that, it goes and binds to minor group, and this stays there from. There's a large barrier, as you can see. It's coming from far, and then it goes over to
what does it do?
a critical region is there, which requires some fluctuations of the DNA and together movement of the midomycin and goes and hits there, and finally that's really stable.
And the idea is that the more active.
Okay. So now I will talk a little bit of insulin and everywhere, this is a free energy calculation. It's just thermodynamics. Very complicated and difficult. Complicated is not the right word. Sophisticated and difficult calculations. But very nice statistical mechanics that you get to do. You do umbrella sampling, you do metadynamics. So one of the highest level of equilibrium stat mech you do, and then time dependent stat mech you do to understand these things. It is very easy to continue doing some kind of thing like string theory because the path is laid and you follow somebody. It is not easy to do these problems. So insulin, hexamer, and dimer. Okay. So insulin in biologically active insulin in your body at every moment. Insulin is active every moment in your body because insulin is the natural thing. Metformin is the outside medicine. Your body continuously creating insulin. So whenever you are eating sugar or sweet or anything, it goes and utilizes that. But in a body, pancreas, it is stored as a hexamer, and then coming out of the pancreas, it becomes a dimer. Dimer then has to become monomer. And that dissociation. So the structure of hexamer is very important to know, and it's a very symmetric molecule, very big because 6 proteins, 6 hormones. When it becomes dimer, which is again a beautiful structure, we'll see. Then it dissociates into monomer. This is the thing that we'll talk about. Insulin has huge amount of the glucogenesis. Because glucogenesis is the one that glucose uptake and muscle disposed tissue, glycolysis, and sugar or sweet or anything. Okay. So monomer is biologically active, and then a dimer, and that structure is given on the left. It has beautiful 3 helices and 4 points. Those who know a little bit of protein will know that. Then these has 2 chains A and B, which are connected by disulfide bonds, which are yellow on the left. So it becomes a dimer. And now we'll see a little bit of these things. So, and this is the hexamer, which is the storage unit, and it's a beautifully symmetric thing. But there is a big cavity inside, which 2 zinc ions. And it's very symmetric molecule. Now, this cavity is not small. So you wanted to know what is inside the cavity. Very interesting. Not much work was done for us. So I did a lot of study, but I found only one master's thesis that time when I was started worrying about it. And there's one work on solvation from our area before that, which actually started the insulin work by Sushmita and Bhushal. So we wanted to find what is the water, the cavity. Is there any water there, and how many water is there? And then there is again the same collaboration with the experimentalists who did X-ray. This is from Gopal in MBU and our simulation. And we found that the water molecules which are, we call this a factor which says the Debye-Waller factor essentially on the y-axis, the number of tagged water molecules, they matched. So Debye-Waller factor means how static are those things.
But there is a big cavity.
The more static they are, more they are high peak. They agreed because most other water molecules are not there, and eight of them, which are fairly static, turned out the number of water molecules there is almost exactly 10. There are water molecules which are continuously moving in and out.
So I,
So there are 6 water molecules which are somewhat static, but there are 4 water molecules which are, and the static is the water molecule get exchanged. Static means it's not remaining there all the time. So then hydrogen bond dynamics we did in the water molecules rotating, translating of the water molecules, and here is a picture made by Shomov that when you remove the water,
and then there is again the
things
same
totally unstable.
correlation.
When the hexamer, which right now in your body, that collapses without water. And when that was used this same night, we got a telephone call from, actually many telephone calls from California, and there's big news, we could see any news, they covered in a big way the computer simulation, so the water holds insulin and someone together, and they found it very, very interesting. Okay, so cavity water, we discovered 10 water. I like the number 10. I didn't plan 10 because there is this Agatha Christie movie, 10 Little Indians. I objected always to why 10 Little Indians. But then I found she also had 10 little dolls. The dolls were dolls of Indians, I guess. Now, if you are taking insulin, you are not supposed to drink, not too much at least. And so we tried to find out what would happen if I put ethanol there. And we said, yes, ethanol can mess it up. It can go and sit in many different places, and they kind of distort the structure. Most importantly, what it can do, it can stop the dimer, hexamer to becoming dimer and dimer to becoming dimer. Then you are screwed completely. And so this some kind of a study on induced structural destabilization, and then we have this not a fully complete study, but these results are here, Shomon and Shantan and others. So here a little bit of that, what ethanol finals. You can see the perfect structure you want to have in your body is the leftmost one, but ethanol can make it to that right one, where ethanol interpenetrate and forms in between, lands in between and distorts your. So that is one of the reasons doctors tell you. It is known, I don't know the reason, but you are not supposed to drink too much at least when you are on insulin. And, we propose this as the reason. It's a very, very, physics or chemistry reason. And then we studied a lot on insulin dimer. This is a beautiful molecule. The 2 monomers held together by 4 hydrogen bonds and hydrophobic interaction. Hydrophobic interaction means these groups are hydrophobic. They don't like water, so they stick to each other. That's hydrophobic interaction. 4 hydrogen bonds. And the hydrophobic groups, you can see tyrosine, phenylalanine. There are 3 phenylalanine and 1 tyrosine. These 4 hydrophobic groups. And then we wanted to know, how does it break? And we wanted to know now, we wanted to do first quantum little bit and then more StatMech. The role of water and other post-solvents. And it's very stable, so it is not that easy to find that. So there are a new technique that has been developed last 20 years called importance of bias sampling. Several people in India doing great work on that. Nishan Nair of Kanpur IIT and several other people. So that is one of the reasons. So we did that. We calculate the free energy of separation. And here is the free energy surface. On the left, bottom left on is the stable dimer, hexamer. Then we force them out by using this computer technique, and we found the pathway that it goes. And we found what does water happens on their way. This is the pathway. Pathway, they are little minimum. And They don't like what. And from one deep minimum, then finally they got dissociate. And when our NM it is center to center, so surface to surface about 3 nanometer away, then they are almost free. But we found even then they are not completely free. The in between water molecules are different. So there are a lot of different states we found. People are finding that now. There are some amount of work has started in this field, and some amount of experiments. Actually, there was one work we talked about in 2008 to 10 that we didn't know spectroscopic studies when we started. But so we are collaborating and we are in contact with each other. Okay, now the free energy and radius and this dimer you say in the presence of ethanol, it gets slowed down. Ethanol screws up dimer also. As you can see that, and there's a beautiful picture here. How ethanol, these hydrophobic groups, phenyl 24, phenylalanine and all these things. And then in between, they get stuck together. They are held together in addition to because water goes away and this string of ethanol molecules enter. And that does not allow dimer to go in that way. And you need monomer because monomer is the. I'm not saying this is the full story. This is probably a very small part of the story, but this is a feasible thing on basis of physics and chemistry. Okay. So large control of water, as I was saying, even they are far, they are water playing a role. Here, I showed one. 3 stages that they are separating. Top one, when they are white. The water molecules in between there, quite different from bulk. They are faster than bulk. Their properties are different. So even so much. So this is wonderful. This is a computer simulation, the huge computer simulation of many thousand water molecules. It's just beautiful. And then showing that how insulin forming and breaking over microsecond, because a very long simulation time scales. And actually experimental study says is 0.4 microsecond is the rate. And we found that also. Now I last thing little bit, and before I go to physics, is the role of vitamin D. Which is huge amount of study and talking going on. That is vitamin D good for you or bad for you? Many people tell me, and stop people. I was visiting a professor, senior professor. He told me that his brother is a doctor in England, and they said one of the best thing you can do for COVID is to have vitamin D. I'm not saying that. I'm not suggesting it, but that was I was told and I started. So medicinal value of sunlight is known for a long time. This left-hand person is champion of that. And the right-hand side also got Nobel Prize in recognition of that. Now, there is a very, very interesting story in Ayurvedic, and this is a very famous novel. It's called Putul Nachiriti Katha, that means puppets. Now, I don't like the translation, but okay. By one of the best novelists of Bengal called Manik Bandopadhyay. And there, in that story, there are many, many characters, but one character was a very famous Kaviraj, Mr. Jadov. And he used to talk with an allopathic doctor, Shoshi. And Shoshi did not know any of Ayurvedic and was really not interested. But this Ayurvedic doctor was trying to get him interested. And then always used to tell him that, Shoshi, what your medicine says about sunlight? Shoshi would say nothing. Then Kaviraj would say, great line, Shoshi, how can you, who does not know Surya Vigyan, fasting, how can you practice medicine? It's a very nice thing. Now we all know, of course, that the one great thing is that vitamin D does many things. As we are finding out. Now again, with my love for molecules, this is vitamin D. Again, you see the OH groups and you see the conjugation. And these the D3 that we take active form of vitamin D. And then we wanted to know how does it work. And we made a cartoon which is the following, and it has come out in PLOS 1, and there's one more JCT last year, that how vitamin D, I'm not going into detail, but interacts with antigen presenting cell and resting T cell, which is like a stem cell. But this to convert it into either effector T cell, which goes and kills the pathogen, or regulated T cell, which stops. Because if too many affected T cell is there and not controlled, you get autoimmune disease. These T cells, which are killer cells, affected, will kill your body. This is all published. Please look at that. It's a very nice thing. Now, we all know, of course, that they want. So it is a non-trivial work because there's a huge number of equations, and still we have not fully done a good job on it. And there's JCP, you can see that we do a lot more, but we did a stochastic approach, fully mathematical. Then we have to solve these equations, and then we found some very interesting thing like that. If we found that there is an optimum vitamin D, which actually every doctor, every book says you. If you do not have vitamin D, then you are in trouble because you become weak regulation. But you have too much vitamin D, then this toxic. You need there is a lot. Please. I cannot hear you. Please, I cannot even hear you.
Different parts of India, and I'm very happy to share with you that.
Please be quiet. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. Please, somebody stop her. Please, somebody stop her. Can somebody stop her? We did a stochastic approach, fully mathematical. It's just not possible, fair enough that I'm talking and let me finish. Then you say whatever you want to say. We found some very interesting thing like that. Okay, I'll continue. I'm sorry, but I think it completely got my completely screwed up. Okay, this reason I don't really always like to give these talks. Okay. So coming again, there is a classification of immune regulation that we know, and this I'm saying is one side of a story that we are developing. They are all unlike in papers that are published in archives, they are published reviewed papers. And we are going to do more work on that. I'm not saying it's the final story, but we will do more of this. Now there are more of vitamin T cell regulation from, as we said, it's very important to have the regulation properly balanced. That is, if it is the real balancing, which is also told in this JCP paper, it said that it has to be optimally balanced so that there is a fluctuation between the weak and strong. And let me finish, then you say whatever you want. And that is what the purpose of vitamin D. It regulates. I'm saying you again, it's an extremely big field. It's a kind of a field which will get a Nobel Prize. We have done a very tiny little contribution, but it should be followed up. That's the main my logic of this talk. So then, by stability in biological and chemical reactions is extremely important because we need the switch from one to other under the condition. Okay, and time evolution of immunological component. There's, if you do not have vitamin D, then what happens? Autoimmune disease. That means the affected T cell, which is the red cell on the top, the red line on the top, that goes on growing and then attacks your body. On the other hand, if you have enough vitamin D, then you do they control these affected T cells are controlled. So you need the things. As I'm saying, that vitamin D plays probably many roles and it's not been fully understood. But what my point is that as a scientist, I'm not a doctor, and I don't like the way doctors treat vitamin D. There should be lot more understanding at the microscopic level, molecular level, what is going on. If we do not do that, we'll never be able to conquer diseases. And that's what is your mRNA, the spike protein, and these kind of things you see now are beginning of that era that was told by this person before. A new era is coming, and you have to survive after all, then you do string theory. Okay. So response of T cell fluctuations are extremely important. If you don't have T cell fluctuations, you are dead because you are not immunity. And we are trying to do experiments now to an individual their T cell concentration every month. It's a 5-year project I'm trying to start, and where we could get these things. On the other hand, so take home message is that vitamin D, it's a very beautiful physics, bistability, stochastic resonance, completely mathematics. So now few things on dynamics in complex systems that I think I'm already almost an hour, so I should go with that 3 minutes break in between. Very unpleasant. Yeah.
Is it, you can put your screen screen mode.
Thank you very much. I was very disrupted by this. I'm not used to get that kind of. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Okay. So this is again, go through this stochastic bistability is an important. We are not, see, we are not talking of in the air. We are not talking in the air. We are doing this kind of very difficult calculations, where we need these rate constants, which we don't fully have. So we made some kind of estimate by through Smolakowski equation descriptions of the concentration that we know. So this is a very non-trivial work. It is not the kind of whistling in the air that many people do when they talk at stochastic resonance. These rock solid things. We might be wrong, but this is okay. Now, 5-year project I'm trying to start. Now coming back that a little bit on the complex systems, that one of them I want to talk on the diffusion in a rugged energy landscape, which is a potential. That's my boss, my mentor, I think, whom I consider the best time during that stand I ever. He got every prize. He should have gotten every prize. Actually, he was there, but there are a lot of politics went in place. He was not a political guy at all. Now, so we wanted to know what happened if the diffusion when there are is rugged. And this is two mathematicians, Stein and Neumann of Courant Institute, New York, one of the best mathematicians. And I heard a talk by Stein once. It was a very interesting talk. I didn't want to go to the talk. But one of my friend called and told me from Jawaharlal Nehru Center, Viman, you should go and to listen to Stein's talk. I said, why? He's a mathematician. I was giving the talk in TIFR. He said, no, you need to go. It's very important for you. So I went, and then I realized why. My friend insisted that I go, because he had 2 slides. One of these is like that. So here, water, he argues the water starting from the top left lane, how does it go to the ocean? And ocean is in the very left corner, bottom left. So how does it happen? So it's you see water goes from one lake, some kind of water passage to another lake, but a very interesting look at the structure of the lake. When the lake is very big, that water molecule gets trapped. So the kind of a configuration and volume of that lake is a very interesting kind of structures that Stein and Neumann had drawn. These are published. But they formulated the problem as the diffusion in a rugged energy landscape. And I heard a talk by Stein. Then I realized why my friend sent me there, because I was talking of Zwanzig's. And then I read their mathematics paper. And yes, they did not have the expression Zwanzig had. Zwanzig drew a beautiful expression. See that if I have a measure of the ruggedness, epsilon, which essentially you can say a difference between maximum and minimum. Rugged means you have to have both maximum and minimum. So whenever it's a rugged landscape like a mountain, you have valley and mountain and saddle. This is one-dimensional picture though. This is 2 or 3-dimensional. So now Zwanzig derived this, which can be done only in 1D, not in 2D. And so nobody before that tested it. So we tested by simulation. That took 5 years because there are real technical difficulties. Because we run into classic problem of time dependent step back, non-ergodic. So the kind of non-ergodicity, but we could do that. Check it by doing this potential, and we then found that once it's doesn't work, I'll show him it breaks down. Fortunately, with a Japanese colleague of mine, Seki-san, I could derive an exact analytical expression without any extra parameter. And that is now this. So once it does not work very well, here is the 5-year simulation, and then the theory. And they are exact. So this you have to use this expression. People actually use Zwanzig's expression, but we say we use this expression. And then some relation between famous diffusion entropy relation that we could do here, derive for this model exactly Rosenfeld scaling, and then we did in a different diffusion in a deterministic system, the triangular data is again Zwanzig introduced called Zwanzig lattice, I call it. But it's just nothing but cosine, 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 3 cosines, add of them. But it has a minima, maxima, and saddle. It's a beautiful system where we could calculate all the things. It's and we calculate and we show the derivation of these things that is done by Shubhaji Acharya, and like the very last essay that we obtain the essential Rosenfeld scaling. Highly non-trivial work, and here is the relationship between the two different regimes. Dashed line is one regime, and there's a crossover, and that we are still working on that. Now, the last part is Sobishta's work, Sobishta and Milan, that heterogeneous kinetics. This is all physics completely now. Like this is mathematical physics, and this is phase transition. And so in spinodal decomposition, the way we study it, that you take an upper surface at high temperature, done by rate, then you quench it. And this high temperature distribution is wide. So it drops in many places on the down. At low temperature, free energy surface has to separate it, A and B, like aluminum and manganese. Many alloys, that you see one of them in volcanic rocks. And that is a beautiful physics. Then we could study temporal evolution of phase separation kinetics. There are 2-3 papers on this area. But you can see the beautiful pattern. So finally, it phase separates. In 2 phases, but goes through these beautiful patterns. And it's not nucleation, it's a spinodal decomposition. Okay. And then there are many different scaling relations here, which is, so lastly, there are books that we have written, and one big book we are writing other than the popular guide. And then this is another popular book. This is another popular book. This I was saying, 3 Donkeys of Maleshwaram. And these are my students. I showed again, Somo, Chanton, and you have seen their names. All this. And so last, I want to end with a beautiful poem from John Donne. He wrote these things around 1760, 18th century, second half of 18th century. So very long time ago. But there's a beautiful poem that is very fit for today. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clot be washed away by the sea, Europe is less, as well as if a criminality were, as well as if a manner of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind. And therefore, never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for that, but I get very annoyed when I cannot even understand what is being told. Okay? Anybody there, or everybody is sleeping?
Thank you, sir. So now participants, if you have any questions, you can put on the message box. That lady also, if you are still
here. Lady, but I could not hear anything. I could not hear anything. But that is, I could not understand anything what she was saying.
Yeah, I understand, sir. You are concentrating there, and yeah, so it should not be like that also. But if you are still here, you can put your question.
So what you should do, Professor Hussain, you should easily unmute that thing, because when it is causing stress and I am not being understand, if I understood what she was saying, I would have answered. But I could not understand a word what she was saying, because the sound box was very poor. And therefore, never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for that. I think we have lived the utility of online talks. I think we should probably stop them now, because I think this is. Anybody there, or people has to be prepared for online. I already told you, online means you have to start on time, because so many people plan like that. And online means, you're keeping the other guy waiting. In a conference hall, it doesn't matter. I can talk with someone. But I could not hear anything. It is far more easy to understand what is going on. But that way, I could not understand anything.
In online is some sir, to communicate and. Yeah, sometimes it's there, and anyway, it should not be like that. But if
And
you are
Google
still
Meet
here,
is
you
so,
can put your question.
what you should do,
So-
see, Google Meet
So
unlike
participants.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm not being
Okay, so and students, I request specifically students, please go through sir's profile, and if you have any query and anything you want to have from, you can email sir, or you can inform me. I can communicate with sir. So thank you very much, sir, for giving
Now,
time.
only one thing, Professor Hussain, could you figure out
Yes,
what
sir,
the
please.
lady was saying? Because I couldn't figure out anything.
because I think this is anybody there or people has to be prepared for online.
No, actually, sir, we could not concentrate because you are also telling to stop, and she was continuing. But and I wonder whether she was listening to you or not. Everybody was surprised. Then
You was not listening. She was not listening. Because I was keeping her to say again and again and again. But whoever has the egg should immediately mute her.
online is some
That is the standard. How you guys allow, when during the talk, you are not supposed to allow people unmute. They are all should be muted by you.
So
All should be muted by you.
mainly sir, the scholars were controlling. So maybe actually they were also surprised.
No,
because
but
despite of your telling, she was continuing.
No, that's
So
okay.
it's
That's
something
okay. But what I'm
strange.
saying,
And,
please listen to me. You are also not listening.
and,
See, important thing is that you have to, when a talk is going on, everybody shall be muted by the organizer.
I can communicate with sir.
Then one has to raise a
Thank you very
hand.
much, sir, for giving
Then
time.
you allow somebody to unmute. But everybody, beginning, other than the speaker and the chairman, nobody can have
No, actually, sir, we
mic
could
on.
not concentrate.
That is
because
not allowed.
You were also telling to stop.
It is
and she was
completely
continuing.
controlled,
And I wonder
because otherwise
whether
these unpleasant
she was
things will
listening
happen.
to you or
That
not.
is not allowed. I have given hundreds of online talks. Never
No,
this.
sir, that is available in Zoom and WebEx, etc. But here, Google Talk, you have to unmute one by one. That's the problem, sir. Here, in that platform, you can unmute all except speaker in one click. But here, you have to do it one by one. This control is less because it's maybe free. I don't know exactly, but maybe due to free, control is less.
No, I told you in the very beginning, Google has stopped spending money on this. So it has more or less done for them. Because I think they probably realized that they are not going to develop it see, they tried many things. Google car, I don't know what is happening to that. Then Google three-dimensional spec, which I don't think worked out. So they did not, because I think they have thought that they will not be able to win the competition with Zoom and or Microsoft Teams. And they are expensive, as you said. So actually Zoom would have worked for you, but the problem of Zoom is that they are 40 minutes. They allow 50 people free, but only for 40 minutes. That's
is
the problem.
available in Zoom and WebEx, etc.
Okay, then thank you. For example, I don't even know how
one by one.
to
That's the problem, sir.
get out of this.
In that platform, you can unmute.
So-
You can click this red button, sir, right side below lower panel. You have to do it one by. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks,
And
everyone.
control is
Bye.
less because it's maybe free. I don't know exactly, but maybe due to free, control is less.
No, I
So reasonable.
Google has stopped spending money on this. So
Yes, sir. You can share this one feedback one.
because I think they probably realized that they are not.
And you can now carry on your quiz and other things in the
They
hall.
tried
I am
many
coming
things.
there.
I don't know what is happening to that. Then Google three-dimensional spec, which I don't think worked out. So they did not, because I think they have thought that they will not be able to win the competition with Zoom and or Microsoft Teams. And they are expensive, as you said. So actually Zoom would have worked for you, but the problem of Zoom is that they are 40 minutes. They allow
So
50 people.
it was a pleasure hearing from Professor Biman Bakshi. He has given a tremendous talk. The magnitude of importance of his inspiring talk is unmeasurable.
Get out of this.
We are honored to have a stalwart figure like Professor Bakshi in this program.
This red button, sir.
National Science Day
Right side
brings
below.
not only celebration but also responsibilities in our shoulders, as we will be the next scientific fraternity. In order to understand our role and the scientific approach in our society, along with the significance of this special day, National Science Day, Ms. Farhana Yasmin Rahman will give a short lecture on this special occasion. Farhana?
Other things in the hall. I am coming here.
So they did not, because I think they thought that they will not be able to not like something. They are expensive as is. Actually, Zoom is not comfortable. The problem of Zoom is that they are following us.
So, it was a pleasure hearing from Professor Biman Bakshi. He has given a tremendous talk. The magnitude of importance of his inspiring talk is unmeasurable. We are honored to have a scholar figure like Professor Bakshi in this program.
So greetings to all our respected faculty members, fellow scholars, and our students. Myself, Farhana Yasmin Rahman from Department of Physics, Tripura University, welcoming you all to the momentous occasion of the National Science Day. I feel very privileged to have such a great opportunity to speak before this August gathering on the National Science Day. So every year on February 28, we used to celebrate this day to mark the invention of Raman effect. However, even we must have to know why the government have marked this day as the National Science Day. The National Science Day commemorates the invention of the Raman effect by the great Indian physicist Sir Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman. Sir Raman, on this day, has invented the Raman effect in the year of 1928. For his contribution in the field of science, Sir Raman was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in the year of 1930. So, by celebrating this day as the National Science Day, we show our dignity and respect to the famous Indian physicist for his contribution in the field of science. Sir Raman was born on 7th of November 1888, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. His father was a lecturer in physics and mathematics. He studied at St. Aloysius Anglo-Indian High School, Visakhapatnam, and Presidency College, Madras. In 1994, he obtained a BSc degree from the University of Madras, where he stood first and won gold medal in physics. In 1907, he completed an MSc degree from the University of Madras with the highest distinction. So, from 1907 to 1933, he worked in Kolkata in the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, doing research on various topics in physics. On 28th of February 1928, Raman led an experiment with the Indian physicist K.S. Kishan on the scattering of light when he discovered what now we call it as Raman effect. The Raman effect explains the effect on the scattering of light when passing through the different materials. And after his retirement, Raman established the RRI, that is Raman Research Institute in Bangalore. Raman passed away on November 21, 1970. So the main objective of the National Science Day is to bring awareness to people about the importance of science in our daily life and to encourage people by popularizing the science and technology. And every year this day is celebrated with a particular theme. So this year, the 2022, the theme has been chosen as the integrated approach in science and technology for sustainable future. The motto of this theme is to expand access and capacity to the developing regions, which will similarly shape their paths for the development and prosperity in a sustainable manner. So, as for example, technologies include carbon capture, storage system, and more efficient irrigation methods, essential medicines, household water purification devices, and manufacturing processes that minimize the wastage and pollution. The outcome will contribute the realization of potential of science and technology to meet up the most pressing sustainable development challenges. So, as a researcher, it is our responsibility to honor the great man and his invention by contributing greatly to the field of science through innovation. And I wish the entire science enthusiasts very best to enhance their science skills. Thank you so much. And every year, this is celebrated with a particular theme. So, this year,
Thank you very much, Ms. Rahman, for highlighting the aims and objectives of this special day.
Science and technology.
As a part of this program, National Science Day 2022, we have arranged an essay competition. We have collected several essays inside this department as well as outside from the department. So we are moving towards the last session of this day. So the winner of the essay competition as well as the next part of the program, that is the open quiz, will be covered by Jodeh. So Jodeh, please take over the chart.
Minimize the wastage and pollution. The outcome will contribute the realization of potential of science and technology to meet up
Good afternoon, all.
most pressing
So,
sustainable
as a part of the
development
operation,
challenges.
we have essay
So, as a
competition.
researcher,
We have a number of
our
essays.
responsibility to
We have a number of
understand
essays.
man and his invention by
We have a number of essays submitted
contributing
for the essay competition, and some of the essays are from outside the department. And after evaluation of the essays, depending upon different parameters, we have selected one candidate as the winner of the competition. I am announcing his name as Mr. Devaditya Home Roy, BSc BH Mathematics, School of Education, Tripura University. Is he present here?
We have arranged and department as well as outside from the department. So we are moving towards the last session of this day. So the winner of this competition is the next part of the program. That is the
So I am requesting Professor Debuchni Bhattacharya to present him the gift.
Jodeh, please take over the chart.
We have a number of essays submitted for the essay competition, and some of the essays are from outside the department. Now moving towards the quiz competition. So the quiz competition will be an open quiz competition. That means there will be a prize for every correct answer. So I will prefer to give chance to the students first, and after who will raise his hand first, and I will go chronologically. After that, I will prefer to give chance to the scholars also, and we have chosen some basic questions based on recent advancement of science, and some questions based on general scientific knowledge. So I am starting. So I am requesting. So, are you ready?
You have to announce that everyone should put their mobile
Yeah.
away from.
Yes. So, is yes. First of all, I will be giving. I will just question you. There will be no option. So after that, if I feel that there will be any option, I will give the options. Okay. So no one could open the mobile phones. Okay. So my first question is that who is the recently appointed ISRO chairman? I will prefer to give chance to the student name of the recently appointed ISRO chairman. And I will go chronologically. After that, I will prefer to give chance to the scholars also. And scholars, some basic questions based on recent advancement of so science. Can I give the options? Some questions based on general science. I will give 3 options only. So I am starting K. Chandrachud, K. Sivan, and S. Somnath. Are you ready? K. Chandrachud, K. Sivan, S. Somnath. Yeah. Yes. So, okay, please. S. Somnath. Okay. So, first of all, I will be giving. I will just question you. There will be no option. So after that, I will give the options. Okay. So no one could open the mobile phone. So can anyone answer the Ramanujan-Hardy number? What is the Ramanujan-Hardy number? Is the recently appointed chairman. Name of the recently appointed ISRO chairman. My next question is that who is the founder of IISc Bangalore? Scholar, who is the founder of IISc Bangalore? So can I give the options? Yeah. I will give 3 options only. Yeah, you can. K. Sivan and S. Somnath. Ready? K. Chandrachud, K. Sivan, okay. S. Somnath. My next question is, what was the name of the test conducted in our first nuclear explosion? First nuclear test. Name of the first nuclear test by India. What was the name of the test? No, there is a name of the nuclear test, not the name of the place. Can anyone? Okay. Can anyone answer the Ramanujan-Hardy number? What is the Ramanujan-Hardy number? I can give the options. One option is that. The next question is that actually I didn't prepare the options. Founder of IISc Bangalore. So founder of IISc Bangalore. Okay. So first option is that smiling Buddha. Number 1 is that radioactive decay. And next one is India 1998. Okay. Yeah. The next question is, what was the name of the test conducted? Yeah, that was my mistake. I understand. Yes. That was also smiling was there in the name of the answer also. Anyway, yeah. Not the name of the place. So, can anyone name the where is the headquarters of National Academy of Science located? Where is the headquarters of National Academy of Science located? That's a very easy question. I can give the National Academy of Science located. One option is that next question is that actually I didn't prepare the options. Okay. So first option is that. Okay, I'm giving the options: Delhi, Mumbai, Allahabad, Bangalore. Radioactive. Raise your hand. Next one is India 1998. Huh? No. As I have given 4 options, so I can take only one. Only one answer. Yeah, that was my mistake. Yeah, I understand. That was also smiling was there in the name of the answer also. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so as we all know, Nobel Prize are awarded in Academy of Science. Okay, except the Nobel Peace Prize. Do you know where from which city the Nobel Peace Prize is given? Very easy question. Nobel Peace Prize is given from a specific city, which is yeah. Yeah. Okay, so my next question is, who is the president of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR? Who is the president of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR? Huh? One. As I have given 4 options, I can take only one. Huh? No. Huh? Prime Minister. Okay. Give me a pen. Correct answer. Okay, so as we all know, Nobel Prize are awarded. Okay, so as we all know about the Russia nuclear conflict, Russia-Ukraine conflict. So we all know about the International Space Station, right? Now, Peace Prize is given for name the space agency of Russia. You all know about America, USA, right? NASA. So, what is the name of the space agency of Russia? please. Yeah, correct answer. Who is the president of Council of Scientific and Industrial Services? Okay, so my next question is, who is the winner of Shanti Saru Bhatnagar Award 2021? Who is the winner in physical sciences? Who is the winner of Shanti Saru Bhatnagar Award 2021 in physical sciences? Huh? No. Huh? I can give it clue. He is a Bengali Prime Minister. Correct answer. I can't give the options for that question. Huh? No. Okay. So as we all know about the nuclear, so maybe this pen is for mine. So his name is Dr. Konok Shah. He is from Ayuka, Inter University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Pune. Russia. You all know about America, US, right? Now it's a very common question. Which country has built an artificial moon? It's a project actually, artificial moon project. Leading by which country? China. Okay, right answer. Okay. So my next question is, who is the winner of Shanti Saru Bhatnagar Award 2021? Who is the winner in physical sciences? Who is the winner of Shanti Saru Bhatnagar Award 2021 in physical sciences? Okay, that's a question. I mean, maybe it's not direct question. Okay, so every year, there is a Nobel Prize for the different fields in chemical sciences, physical sciences, in medical sciences, and so on. So, in this year, I mean 2021, not 2022, 2021 Nobel Prize in Physical Sciences, there has been three names. So, can anyone name one of the scientists? Physical sciences, Nobel Prize for Astronomy and Astrophysics. Excellent. Please name all the three scientists. It's a project actually, artificial moon project, leading by which country? Fine, okay. Okay, so Supuru Manabe and Klaus Hasselman, they have given climatology and meteorology image. And Gardio Parisi is in, I think, planetary and space physics. Okay, that's a anyway question. I mean, in India, not direct question. First DNA-based COVID-19 vaccine shot is manufactured by which company? DNA-based vaccine shot. So, as you have given two answers, so I am looking for others. 2021 Nobel Prize in Physical Sciences. Four names, three names. So, anyone name one of the scientists? Okay, it's Zaidas Cadila. Okay, give me a pen. Is almost here. Excellent. Please name all the three scientists. Okay, now it's a question. Yes. This question is not for the scholars. In which state of Northeast India, Center for Lightning and Thunderstorm Studies is located? In which state in northeastern India and black shirt? Huh? Give me a pen. In India, first DNA-based COVID-19 vaccine shot. The next question is related to COVID also. COVID. Which country authorized the world's first plant-derived COVID vaccine? Plant-derived COVID vaccine. Then I can give the options. I will give three options. Okay. So, Britain, USA, and Canada. Britain, USA, and Canada. First, plant-derived COVID vaccine. Yes. Huh? No. Okay, this question is not from scholars. Yeah, give me a pen. Right. In which state of Northeast India? So the back 4 times I feel, right? In which state of Northeast of India? Lecture. Okay. So now this question is related to the science day. Not science day actually. I mean, it's related to the background of the science day. Who was the co-discoverer of Raman effect? Who was the co-discoverer of Raman effect? Along with C.G. Raman. Is the plant-derived COVID vaccine. Yeah, correct answer. Give me a second. Okay, as we all know, this is the National Science Day. So this is 28th of February. Can anyone answer which date is celebrated as the World Science Day? World Science Day. The yellow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, correct answer. So in back 4 times I feel like. Okay. Next question is related to the Karman line. Karman line. I mean, which was making news recently, is used to determine which factor. Options: mean sea level, edge of space, greenhouse emission, weather forecast. Karman line, which was making news recently, is used to determine which factor? Mean sea level, edge of space, greenhouse gas emission, weather forecast. This is the National Science Day. It's a very, it's a recent news. Can anyone was in news for all the days? I think 3-4 months ago. Which day is celebrated as the World Science Day? World Science Day. Anyone? The yellow. Yeah, correct answer. Who knows about the Blue Origin or SpaceX? You heard the name of Blue Origin or SpaceX? Blue Origin, SpaceX. Okay, next question. Okay, Karman line. Okay, it is determined it is used to determine the edge of space. Okay, so it's a boundary. If you cross it, we can say that okay, I just crossed the space limit. So it is Karman line determined for edge of space. Which was making news recently. Karman line. EARMA. Edge of space, greenhouse gas emission, weather forecast. Okay. It's a very, it is also a recent question. Which telescope is being manufactured in collaboration among NASA, ESA, means European Space Agency, and CSA, Canadian Space Agency? Yeah. Yeah, he got a pen. Right answer. It's James Webb Telescope. No. Who knows about the Blue Origin? No, it's being manufactured. Just it's in testing process. It's not launched yet. What's the name of Blue Origin of SpaceX? Blue Origin, SpaceX. Okay. There is a name of specific engine which is named. Remembering Vikram Sarabhai. Okay, so it's a liquid fuel rocket engine conceptualized and designed by Liquid Propulsion System by ISRO. So can you name that engine? It's a very common name. Its name, remembering, okay, Vikram Sarabhai. This is also a recent question. Which telescope is being manufactured in collaboration? Okay, yeah. NASA, yeah, yes, European Space Agency, and CSA, Canadian Space Agency. Yeah, he got a pen. Right answer. It's James Webb Telescope. No, it's being manufactured. Testing process. It's not launched yet. Okay, I think that's all for today. So, okay, there is a name of specific engine which is named. Questionnaire আছে আমি সহলে করতে পারি almost 20 না socialized and designed by liquid propulsion system okay by so name that engine
James Webb already launched.
name
তখন দেখছিলাম recently.
Calibration phase আছে আচ্ছা calibration orbit না আমি actually আমি ক্যালিব্রেশনটা দেখছিলাম বলে আমি কনফিউজ হয়ে গেছিলাম আর কি Okay, so I'm now handing over this. Okay, so yeah, so Rizina will take over.
So thank you very much, Quiz Master Mr. Joseph Shah. So it was a tremendous effort that you have given. I must thank to all our faculty members, our guests that appeared, and all the students who have appeared here with a very short notification. So please, these kinds of programs are for all of us, especially for students. We need more support, more cooperation from you, so such that some enthusiasm, like a boom of enthusiasm, we can observe in our next day. Thank you very much. We'll meet again somewhere someday next.
This program has been organized completely by the research scholars. Normally we teachers help them, but this time actually they have become so mature that they have did it themselves. So I think they should have a round of applause from our side. Becoming self-independent is very important, and as a team the scholars are becoming independent, and we request that our students also try to be independent. We should carry some message from this day. We celebrate, but let us take some message like we will become self-independent, not only financially, but whenever a teamwork will come, each and everyone will be able to know. I did not touch this screen once, only I admitted one people, but they now know how to do it. It's all up to you. So I'm very happy. We were very busy. At least I could not give time. But they became self-independent, and I'm happy that they can manage program. Okay, thank you. I'm very happy.
Like a boom of enthusiasm we can observe in our next day. Thank you very much. We'll meet again somewhere someday.
This program has been organized completely by the research scholars. Normally we teachers help them, but this time actually they have become so mature that they have did it themselves. So I think they should have a round of applause from our side. Becoming self-independent is very important, and as a team the scholars are becoming independent, and we request that our students also try to be independent. We should carry some message from this day. We celebrate, but let us take some message like we will become self-independent, not only financially, but whenever a teamwork will come, each and everyone will be able to know. I did not touch this screen once, only I admitted one people, but they now know how to do it. It's all up to you. So I'm very happy. We were very busy. At least I could not give time.